I want to put something to you, though. We're shifting back and forward. We have in Jamaica, yes, in the midst of this Ukraine-Russia crisis, our Prime Minister has stated his opposition to what is taking place, consistent with CARICOM, etc. We have in Jamaica a Russian-owned business.
Yes.
UC Rusal
Yes.
owns a good section of our bauxite industry.
Yes.
There's a man named Mr. Deripaska, who is the chief man there. I don't know if he owns all of it, but he's major. He is reputed to be a big friend of Mr. Putin. Yes?
Yes.
Now, look at the headline. Russia bombing Ukraine cities, killing civilians as invasion grows. Okay? We are told that the oligarchs of Russia, of which Mr. Deripaska is one, control some $20 trillion. $20 trillion of assets in and outside of the country. Okay? What do we have to say to Mr. Deripaska as proud Jamaicans now?
Well, I don't know, but the first thing that bothered me, I didn't know that communist man name was as rich.
What?
Was richer than the capitalist man.
Oh man.
So a man is man and money is money.
Well, that is the whole thing. Them are not communists.
There's an international situation which we can make comment, but it's certainly something that has to be left to the top boys of our country.
No, the top boys can't make a decision on their own. They have to hear from Chief Pearnel Charles and myself this morning. And I have to say to them, I put it to you, sir. Yes, for your critique or endorsement. Yes, we say to the likes of Mr. Deripaska and UC Roussel, will you defend? Because your money isn't all we want. We want you're a man or a woman just like the rest of us. And so, if you are against what Russia is doing, yes, we understand you. Yes.
Yeah, well, look on the other side. See, I'm a trade unionist. You see, I don't look across the board one way.
You compromise with expediency every time.
No, I don't compromise. I negotiate. And you have a right, and I have a right. And somewhere between those two rights, we have to have a settlement. So I would say to this gentleman, of course I would like to find out what is his position.
Right.
And
because remember, the bauxite he's scraping off Jamaica, yes, may well be going to fuel Mr. Putin's war machine, you know. And that we want.
Well, you're suggesting that it may be so,
well,
and it may not be so.
We would have to know and find out.
So in other words,
and if not the bauxite itself, the money from it.
I hear a man just shout out, Mr. Charles, look like you're a backpedal. No, I'm not backpedaling.
So tell me what you would say.
I'm trying to, I'm trying to make Ronnie don't win, but it look like him. It look like him ought to win this one. Well, I think that all of us have to agree that what is happening in Ukraine is it's out of any monetary or any kind of support concerns.
Yeah.
We cannot watch women having baby and running with the baby in napkin to underground immediately. I mean,
in the middle of
where there was no war.
No.
Ronnie, have you seen all those buildings that have been destroyed?
Yes, sir.
That took years and years to build.
Yeah. So when you win,
who is going to make the assessment of the destruction of that?
And when you win, who will go build it back? And there is some interest, some national purpose, some historical imperative that justifies you destroying human life and human industry? No, sir. No, sir. And that is no more acceptable than it is for criminal to dig out people's eye.
Yeah, but I said to you
in
2 or 3 days ago, of a big worry that I have. Because if the rest of the world only have a voice but no action,
this is it.
How the hell it help?
Well, this is it.
I mean, the United Nations can only say, stop, don't do it. but they don't have any power to stop them.
Well,
There's no United Nations military force.
yeah. And we are hearing now that the West is preparing to deal with a Ukrainian government in exile, which means that they are conceding that Zelensky and his people are going to lose. Yes?
Yeah.
And they're saying, we will give you the money, we will give you the gun to fire, but we now do nothing else. Can't say they do nothing else because the sanctions are really hitting. Yes? But what is in the mind of man?
Yeah, but let us say the sanctions are hitting the monetary pocket.
Yeah.
But that is far away from reality.
Yeah.
Of what is happening there.
True.
You're destroying the people now. Yeah. You're killing them.
Yeah.
You're mashing up. You're so many cars and buses and trains have been burnt out. Mm-hmm. Houses have been burnt out.
Yeah.
Right?
You can't build it back.
And so, people are, even our Jamaicans should have to walk miles to safety because of what is happening. That's all.
So when that is the case now, so we have this gentleman who is Russian, who owns only for Jamaican assets, all right? So he may just go on? No, sir. He have to say what him defend. And he have to show to us, please, that he is a patriot to the cause of humanity, more than to any corrupt government or any nationalist loyalty. Otherwise, what we have to do, Mr. Charles, is to tell him, please go and sit down because we not deal with you.
Yeah.
No, that is going to involve suffering.
And he would say to you, well, I'm not the only one who you need to talk to.
No, don't tell me that. Because
in other words, there are some who are closer to us who are
so we are going to talk to them too.
Next door to us too.
Yes, sir.
And far away from us.
So we will talk to everybody because we defend freedom and we defend individual rights, and more than anything else, we cherish human life. We are not casual about human life. Yes?
Well, you
that is key.
Write that down. You're all right with that.
Yeah, man.
But it's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Facts face facts.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot support the destruction of one another. And I say one another mean because we're a part of them.
So I don't want
to... cannot destroy...
Exactly, sir. So
physical, financial, moral...
Right. So I don't want anybody. I don't want anything for we. Anything that come from we to participate in that worries, in that destruction. I want us to be able to feel at least we may earn a little less than bauxite. You're gonna tell me about taxes gone down, okay? Even so.
Yeah, but speaking for the Russian...
Sit down on the bauxite.
Speaking for the Russian man, you said something that you want to know where you stand, because remember, there are hundreds of thousands of Russians in Russia who are now being imprisoned because they are opposed to what is going on.
But this man from what we are told, this man is close to Putin. This man is one of the oligarchs, yes? I don't know how much billion he have, or trillion.
Yeah, but that don't stop him from not supporting Putin like the others.
No.
Some of the guys who are not supporting Putin are big boys too.
Well, the Abramovich with Chelsea.
But you want to know. You want to know.
I want to know that he's not using our something to back up for him perfidy. So
in other words, even though we oppose to what's going on there, if what we have here is supporting it, our opposition is zero.
Zero. It's hypocritical, and we mustn't do that.
Yes.
No, I would like the Minister of Mining to stand up in Parliament tomorrow afternoon and clarify that for me and say at least we're making this inquiry. We're not against you, but we have to know really what you're taking our bauxite for to do.
All right. I would say to you, as I said to some of your colleagues who want, before we get into that,
right.
I think that for the minister to get up in Parliament and make a statement would be wrong.
Oh?
I think that if the minister is questioned and say, look, I'm having discussion, right? You can't get up in Parliament and make certain statement because you wish to. You go and do your work.
Okay, no, I'm accepting your diplomacy. Yeah, you may have to do that first. You inform yourself, and then you may take a different route to expressing it.
Just like I am totally opposed to the Integrity Commission.
Yeah.
Say them here, say Pearnel Charles. in a this and Ronnie in a that. And instead of going investigate
Yes.
and come to some conclusion, send it to Parliament,
Yes.
some people is asking them to say, tell me what you hear about who
No.
before you go and find out if it goes up.
No, that's not what people are asking, you know.
They're doing that.
Some people may be asking that, but
Yes.
the people at the Jamaica Accountability Portal, who I
Yes,
respect,
yes.
they're not asking that.
What they're asking.
They are simply saying that if there is an issue with the ministry you're in charge of, or I'm in charge of,
Yeah.
that they be allowed to say, we are inquiring into that ministry.
No, they're gone beyond
They're
that.
not naming...
They want, they said
the
they
name?
want name.
No.
Name. Trevor Man.
Well, I don't accept that. I don't think Trevor is saying that.
Trevor Monroe organization right name.
National Integrity Action.
They want the people them to be named.
No. Well, I don't support that. And when the law was being debated, both you and
I will apologize to Trevor.
Yeah. I don't
If
think
I
it's
am wrong.
yeah, but let's get a balance.
What bothers me is that
Sure. Your name
an
is to call.
investigation is to be done. I don't have a problem in saying we are doing an investigation.
Okay.
But to tell me that you're going to investigate the man, and you put all of this on him.
Yes.
And
Before
then finally you say, not no go
not
so.
Augusto, but his life is
I'm
gone.
dead.
Of course. And
That's
this-
how them had me in prison for 1 year.
Yes.
No, they never took
No,
a statement
exactly,
from
sir.
me. They never tried me.
No.
They never carry me to court.
Yes.
Them just make the boy stay there
Yes.
and make chink bite him.
Yes. That is wrong. And we must not do that. And we mustn't do it by innuendo. We mustn't do it by sus or gossip, or let alone to make it official.
I would not say one more word in, because I have just used 3 words
Yes.
that, in my opinion, described it.
Yes.
Sus
Yes. Yes.
is the biggest danger in this country.
Yes. I tell my congregation, gossip is a mortal sin.
Gossip,
Yes.
dangerous.
Yes,
And coward too.
True.
Because when you are sussing and cowardizing others, it's because you don't have the guts
Yes.
or the information to say, Charles,
Yes.
I saw you do this.
Yes.
And I am going to, I have evidence to show you.
Well,
So you say, my mind tell me say.
No, but let's broaden that a little. Because when people write in the press,
Yes.
yes, and don't sign their name,
Yes.
I don't pay any attention to what I'm saying now.
Yes. I saw what sounded like an intelligent commentary. And I said, I forget exactly what. And I was looking to who put this.
Yeah.
No name.
No name. Not prepared for that.
Yeah.
No, I mean I'm aware that people can feel certain dangers, but if you are going to impugn my character or
Yes.
yours, or I am going to that for anything else, I must put my name. Yes.
Or if what you know,
Yeah.
you know that it's going to cause problem.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the
But
same,
look at social media. So before you go, look at social media.
Yeah.
Social media now is that, you know,
Yes.
it allows for sus and gossip to be canonized, to become the order of the day. I can say anything I want. I can't do it on the Bridge Nation because we are identified and because we respect the law in relation to defamation. But I can leave here at 7:00 and go on social media and call myself Little Chink or Big Buddy.
who?
I don't have to. I can make up any pseudonym or none at all, and I can say anything, and Facebook and Twitter and all them people. Yes, them now go take it down. But I have damaged you or whoever it is I'm speaking of. That is not freedom. That is people mistake. That is not freedom. That is culpable criminal license.
And that is, to go back to what I said earlier, my objection. If you are sure that what you are saying is a fact, and all the investigation is going to conclude that you are right, it's a fact, that's a different matter. But when you destroy a person, and when the investigation shows that nothing no go so, that can't come back, you know.
No.
His children can't come
No, but
back. His friends and his family.
No, let's
can't
create
come
a balance, you know, sir.
Yeah.
Because we have been in the political sphere.
Yeah.
Yes. As far as your declaration of assets are concerned,
Yes.
I have no objection to them publishing that, you know.
I tell you, can publish mine.
Yes. I have no objection. Yes. That's fine.
Except that people going to say, boy,
You fool.
wow, some of what you have there.
But it is very, very hard for a young person now. I'm thinking of your children.
Yes.
You have two deeply involved in politics,
Yes.
who will. It's not only them, but their children who are going to be politically exposed people, and who are going to have their lives before they open a bank account, before they make an investment. All of these things have to be dealt with, have to be disclosed. That is unfair. That is unfair. No, we have to strike a balance, but those surely we have to approach the fight against corruption in ways that simply does not compromise people's capacity
And I
to
heard
live
a man
ordinary
shouting,
lives.
so let me answer him.
Answer him.
And that does not mean that if there is information
Sure.
that implicates any of the two,
Fine.
right, that any consideration should be given, that they must not be investigated and if found guilty, be publicized.
Clearly. And what do? We go through those motions with Integrity Commission and all of that. Yes, good anti-corruption agency. And then when there is a charge, yes,
Nothing
happens. It takes years and years. You know, I'm sorry for former Minister Roy Reid.
Yes.
You know why? Because there's a cloud over his head.
Not only his head.
His family.
Yes.
Yes. He for so long. Yes. Now whether he's done wrong or not is not for me to judge. Not for me to judge. But all I'm saying is that that case should be given priority, like every other case, but particularly that kind of case, because what this long delay is doing is in fact to hurt him, yes, assuming his innocence, and to create a pall of suspicion over every one of us who has been engaged or is engaged in political life. We can do better than that, Mr. Charles.
Well, when I was reading last night, I concluded within myself with the reading that something you said the other day, and I wasn't up to supporting it. I want to apologize and say I think I need to support that.
What was that?
The amount of guns that are being found, the amount of gangs that are being brought in, and we don't know where they go. We don't know where the gangsters are, who they are with, and the amount of attorneys who are judges, who are retired, some gone into becoming other things, even the security.
Yeah.
Right? Why we don't establish certain courts, more courts, to give special trial. You can find 20 odd guns and thousands of things and make that sit down without trial same time.
I can't understand it. I mean, why? How does that?
And after 2 years, we hear that the gun case is just going to be tried.
Yes, sir. Can't be right.
And so our top judgment there, Mr. Thwaites, is right.
Yes.
That these have to be separated from normal crime.
Yes.
And be put under good leaders. And I see some of the former judges running around the place. But they reach the age.
Yes.
It was 60-something, which was 70-something. Now I'm 86 and I could have bossed it same way.
Of that we have no doubt. But no, one of the going back.
You're condemning me, you know.
No, I'm not. when quite the contrary. One of the features of the 1970s gun court legislation was that the trial had to be speedy. Yes. And it was objected to because it seemed that it was going to be so quick that it might deny a defendant, an accused person, the opportunity to amass evidence and get representation, etc. That needs to be considered. But
you should never proceed.
No.
Without that.
But that's not 2 years, sir.
No, you can't take 2 years to do that.
Look at the pall over the Ministry of Education and several other people in the from 2019 they had this issue in March. This is 2022, 3 years later. 3 years later, and the matter can't start. That is that says to the majority of our people. Let's make Philip Powell's point. That says to the majority of our people, you're not serious.
Yeah, but we have a culture which says that try and gone already. So, in other words, when that come up now for trial, I said that again.
Yes.
You understand? The people, it is put out there.
But they've come to the conclusion already.
Exactly.
No, but how unfair this is, Mr. Charles.
Yeah, but
they have come to the conclusion already that because you're charged.
You're either guilty or not guilty.
Well, no, they come to the conclusion more likely to say you're guilty than they must charge you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes?
Well, the family and friends will say you're not guilty.
Yes. So, how can that be fair? How can that be fair? Either to somebody who has exercised public office or to Natty Dread on the street side or to anybody. It cannot be right. We have to do something about it.
Don't say it cannot be right. Say it's not right.
Yes.
Ronnie, some of these things that are happening happen because of contacts.
Of contacts.
Yes.
When we come back from
if
this
you
break,
have contact, it comes through
you
fast.
are going to tell me
Yes.
how we're going to identify that and how we're going to change it. This is the early rise on the bridge, Pearnel, Charles, and myself. We'll soon come back. So, Mr. Charles, we were remarking about the gas price because that's really worries, You feel that we can't do anything?
Well, let's go to money. Let's talk money.
Yeah.
I see the gas says that let's just say no sulfur is $220 per liter.
Yes, sir.
Now, if the taxes that government has on petrol,
yes,
which you are asking to let us remove, if it is further down to per gallon,
little bit,
it may not even come out to $1. But if you take off that dollar, you have to find it somewhere else because remember we have a budget. Now, this is where the problem is. You have a budget that's a larger recurrent, which means pay teachers, pay the police, pay civil servants, carry on build the roads, the bridges, give water.
No, but you see,
you're not increasing the budget of the tax, which means you're not taxing anybody to get more. Yet you have to find money to do more.
But then you see, you start with the given of the size and use of the recurrent budget.
Yes,
that is precisely where I ask you to think again.
Okay, so you want to reduce the budget is.
I want to realign what the budget is used for.
What's the difference between realign and reduce?
Because we may well find that we have to give more to the police, or you and I would say the teachers, okay? Yeah. But we may have to look at different numbers, different efficiencies. We may have to look at certain things that we say that we spend in the recurrent budget right now and say, look, we can't afford that anymore. Or we'll have to postpone that until next year.
I don't want to put you on the line to ask you to tell me one.
I will. Sure. For the.
Oh, you want to take it up without I give you go ahead enough? Not me with one.
No, controversially, the teaching profession. The teaching profession.
No. Tell me one that you would take it from.
Take it from?
In order to make the teachers get a little more and the police get a little more.
No, well, I was going a little bit, coming at it a different way.
Okay.
The notion that we only get, 190 days of teaching a year out of 248 working days is something that we're going to have to look at. We need to use that money, perhaps better money, if we, for that, but we need to get more value out of what we are spending. The business where the leave arrangements, where people have extensive time off work but are paid for it. Yes, these are things that can improve the efficiency of the use of the recurrent budget. and in fact move certain things. You asked me what I would stop to make. I refer you to the Orain report, to the Nettleford report, to the George Eaton report, all of them on the public service, which spoke of a significant reduction and realignment of the public service in this country.
But it adds up to taking from some who are getting it now to give to others who are not getting it. Am I correct?
It may well. The late Edward Seaga, during the 1980s, one of the reasons why there was such a turnaround from the Labour Party in 1989 was because of his readjustment and retrenchment of parts of the public service, because he saw it necessary. It is being spoken of. I'm glad you raised it, or both of us raising it, because it is being spoken of in elliptical terms right now, that this may have to be part of what we do. You want me to tell you? A large part of what we spend on local government, yes, is absolutely wasted.
Well, let's stop right there. Let me tell you something. Because if we go back 3 weeks ago, we hit the fan here by saying power. Mm-hmm. Power, which is your symbol. Mm-hmm. I mean, you in charge, you hold it.
Mm-hmm. No, but that's, our symbol is not just power, Yeah, it's power for the people.
Yeah. But that is slogan.
Okay.
That is a slogan that man just shout at them mouth, you don't go on them belly. Mm-hmm. In fact, some man can go in head. Mm-hmm. But the point is, I still think you're correct. Mm-hmm. If we could find a way to reduce some of the things that we are doing and paying for, to put to what we think are more important, right?
Yeah.
And you hit one, which I don't know how that would work. Mm. It would be easy to say, look here, teachers, how many days in the year? How many days are teaching days? Mm-hmm. What we do with the rest of the days? Mm-hmm. And then not only Saturdays and Sundays, Mm-hmm. Right? And we have a long summer. Mm-hmm. Now you tell a teacher, say, boss man, we want to teach some of the summer days to catch up.
Which actually many of them do, but that is extra lessons.
Yes. And some teachers are God send, Mama would say, because they're not charging, and them don't even go home. Mm-hmm. They make you come at them home too.
True.
So those are teachers. Those are teachers teaching teachers, right? Because as I said, if there were no teachers, there'd be no teachers.
No, but let me ask you a question. It's not an absolute parity of argument. But you in your profession as a trade unionist and all the other things that you've done, you could not hope to earn what you need, what you expect from 190 days of work when there are 248 days of laboring days. I couldn't do that if I practice 190 days in my profession. Yes?
But you're wrong.
Why?
Because it's not only days I had to work.
Night.
No.
Hear me now.
Ronnie, I have never worked 8 hours a day as a trade unionist or a politician.
No.
And I have never worked. What are you talking about?
Yes.
I mean, my mother had to warn me that I must stop work Friday night if I was Adventist.
Yes.
It don't work.
No.
Right? It's a full-time job that takes you full-time.
And I hear the teachers shouting out, you don't know what we have to do when we have to mark, when we have to prepare a lesson plan, and all of these things. And
some of that is true.
And some of that is true.
And they do it at their yard.
Yes, sir. But what I am saying is that we, all of us, have to engage, if we want to move the arc of prosperity further, if we want to reduce the inhumanity, not as bad as Ukraine, thank God, but if we want to reduce the inhumanity of the majority of the people living in circumstances like your Aunt Di up on the hill. Yes? Then what it is going to mean is a significant reorganization, rethinking of what we spend the money that we allow government to put his hand into my pocket and take out.
Ronnie, I listened to, I think he's the president of the Teachers Association.
Yeah.
And I was clapping and congratulating him.
I haven't reached that point yet.
I don't know who is this man now, but he's so different from what I used to hear. And I want to congratulate him.
What was he saying that impressed
the
you?
kind of leadership that I think the teachers need.
Oh.
Cool, quiet, and get you in a position that you make a sacrifice and you don't even know you're not being paid for it. And I listened to him yesterday. Contrary to what I used to hear from some.
And I'm willing to. I'm hoping. I didn't hear, but I'm taking you at your word and
yes,
joining you in the
really
congratulations.
congratulating.
But
he
then
calling for the sacrifice.
Okay.
He calling for the teachers to get ready.
Very good.
He calling for send the children
back
in.
to school.
And I'm saying to district leaders now, political leaders, church leaders,
Everybody.
send the children
Picture
to the
back.
principal.
Yes.
Hold them hand.
Yeah.
Master Ronnie, Master class used to sit down. Hey boy, what you doing from PSA? You not go to school?
Yeah.
No, sir. Come here. Why you not go to school?
Yeah.
You know, film picnic, you know.
No.
And he call, Miss Berger, why is this boy not go to school? Him that, you know what they say? And hold him hand and came right to school.
Yes.
Those days
Hello,
should
sir.
not have gone.
I was just critical of
Those days must be
I was
around.
just critical of local government
Yes.
waste.
Yes.
If the councillor was out this morning
Yes.
and making sure every picnic in Fulham division,
Councillors
day in a
and
school,
MP.
day in a
Councillors
school,
and
MP too,
The politics should be
towards development. No matter who vote for who or which garrison, when they don't even know what garrison name. But that is a national purpose. Yes.
I think it goes a little further, Ronnie. You know that the politics have a large group of intelligent people,
Yes, sir.
workers,
Of course.
political workers.
Sure.
If, let's say, your constituency,
300
Central
of them.
Kingston, small geographically,
Yes.
right? Leadership is the same quantity of 300 or 400 workers.
Yes, sir.
If tomorrow morning,
That is the work the group or the branch must do.
it is, the branch of the group
Yeah.
must make sure, say,
Every
listen,
picnic go to school.
no picnic up on the corner.
No.
No picnic sit down and hide. Right? And if them hold them hand and carry them to the mother and say, you are going to school.
Yes,
Because guess what? You are destroying the future gangs
Yes.
when a
When you do
child
that. Sure.
don't go to school,
Yeah.
but say, I have to get money.
Yeah.
Or go and get money, man, show him.
Sure.
You have to take a gun or hold up a man.
So hold on, sir. We are talking about the ways in which you reorganize public service.
Yes.
And that public service, and it is not only true of the political people, we are right to speak about them, but it is true of the policeman. Yes? It
It's
is
true of the policeman.
Of course, the district constable supposed to be in the like Mr. Charles Senior, supposed to be in the village
Exactly.
and supposed to be say, why are you there? Me know you. Where your mother there?
And there's also a senior man in the district. Everybody respect him.
Yes.
Everybody respect.
Sure.
And he make
Or
sure.
a big woman.
Big woman, and them listen to them.
Yes. So we
In other words, we can get the children out of the
yes,
war.
sir. And where we have been putting up even before COVID with 20% absenteeism every day. Yes?
And they are right there.
And they are right there.
Sitting down with some people on the same bench.
Hello, sir.
And you won't, and you don't do
Okay,
anything
sir.
till you hear them turn gangster.
So when you hear, for example, now that let's use whatever inducement we can to get them into school and then be concerned about the quality of what they get at school.
Yes.
But I keep telling you, plenty of people follow Jesus for the fish and the bread. We are providing some lunch. Okay, thank God for that. But still, many people feel it's poor people lunch and they don't want it. Mrs. Troop from the Ministry
And
of
some
Education.
people go to school because they can't get it.
Oh, you mean so?
If
Tell us,
they won't get
it's
it.
100,000 breakfasts we're providing. With great respect, we need 500,000 breakfasts. Yes, and because it is a responsibility to see that children have enough food. Yes, no fenke business about me don't eat that and we can't do this. Yes, once it is clean, good food. Yes, go eat it and fill your belly with nutritious stuff and go in a class and sit down and behave yourself.
Ronnie, let me repeat one little point to make. all of us are called this morning to join the mobilization team.
What's that word again? Mobilization.
Politician,
Yes.
church people,
Yes, sir.
civil servants.
Everybody.
Don't pass the children on the road.
No.
Help call the principal.
Yes.
Get them to school like you. Arrest them and carry them and put them in a teacher. Because if we don't do that, the time that they have been out for 2 years is going to be 10 years of loss
Yes.
down the line.
Exactly.
And some of them won't want to go back because they forget what them was learning.
Yes.
The lady in line and tell me one is coming at 7 o'clock
Yeah.
and take the class to 8.
Yeah.
Two of them
Yeah.
teaching the children who they have now concluded
God.
have lost
see,
what they were learning
But
2 years ago.
Look at that. Thank God for that. We're looking at the report from Ukraine.
Yes.
Where at the train station, fathers have to say goodbye to their children because the children and the mother are leaving the
leaving them.
country, but the father them have
Have
to
to stay
stay
there and fight.
and stay and fight against the Russian juggernaut, which they cannot win, and which the West is saying, oh, we wish you to do very well. Here is 2 bullet and 3 gun, but we can't come in and help you. We're so sorry, because that might endanger us.
And I said it to you yesterday. What good is those organizations?
Oh, my God.
What good is the European
so
organization,
you
the
mash
World Body, World Organization,
You mash
the
up-
Security Council? If one man can just walk in with all his bombs
Yeah.
and blow up
Yeah.
people,
So
material, man, machine,
machine.
destroy it and gone.
Young people who do not hate each
And
other
at
killing
the
each
final
other.
by next year, you're going to hear how much $1 trillion
Yeah.
the value of what has been lost in
Right.
Ukraine.
Yes. Boy, I tell you, William Wordsworth, the poet, spoke about man's inhumanity to man. And we must take sleep mark death in Jamaica, Mr. Charles. And we on this program, with this privileged opportunity to talk to Jamaicans elsewhere as well as here, have to say to them with all humility, come in a walk in that direction, you hear? This civil war business, this community against community, this divide up and war based on futile things, who mash who girlfriend foot, or who is green and who is orange, all that is foolishness. Must stop that ignorance. Must send the pit to go to school. That is a national crisis. That is a national pilgrimage of today.
And
Yes.
they don't belong to no special person.
No.
It's a national situation. It's a
I'm so glad you
Jamaican.
said that, sir.
No, but it's true.
Because he how him come out going to affect you,
Exactly.
whether if is your blood or no.
In fact, it might not affect his mother and his father.
No.
But it's going to affect
Affect
you.
you.
So you once you can help. Ronnie, before you get off the subject, I want to tell you that something hit me.
Uh-huh.
I heard a little child.
Yeah.
The child couldn't be 4 yet.
Yeah.
Was between 3 and 4. And that child was able to sing a song for the DJ.
Uh-huh.
Ronnie, hold on. I said, what is happening? Every word that you hear the DJ say,
Yeah.
she was able to say it and rock with it.
Look at that, no?
Something struck me.
Yeah.
If that DJ had said words in maths
Yeah.
or geography,
Yeah.
or
Yes.
in other words,
something
if
upful.
if that song
Yeah.
was the
A learning
learning material
Yeah.
of today's education,
Yeah. You're gone
the
clear.
child gone clear at 3 years old, but
But
I was shocked.
yeah, but
In other words, when I listened to the DJ,
Yeah.
I could hear what the hell he was saying.
yeah, but the little girl back
The
in
little girl know every
but
word and was rocked
so
to
let us join hands with Minister Babsy this morning then, and others, because the issue again as to how we exercise our freedom of speech,
Yes.
and how we exercise artistic license, very important things, but at the same time do it in a way which is wholesome, is important. Yes.
Well, I am not quarreling with any of the DJs. I am making a request.
Yeah.
I want to see a competition. I will even put someone.
Put something.
I want to see a competition where the DJs put out a record to see who can teach the people more.
Yeah, but then
in the learning.
Yeah.
Not only A, B, C.
And then Audley will have to play to find that and can be done with such art and such finesse and such attractiveness.
Babs, you'll be very happy too.
Well, listen, but we'll close on my story. I remember going to a graduation of a little basic school downtown, and the children are performing, little 5-year-old, 4-year-old, and I expect them to sing "Jesus Loved Me, Yes I Know" or something like that.
Yes.
Instead of which the girl start winding up herself against the boy. I want a man to dismantle me because my boyfriend handle me. Oddly, yeah, yeah. And so that is what they hear.
I never hear that one yet.
Well, and I could tell you, it's worse than that if it goes up. But hold on now. But I'm making your point.
Yes.
Because they know those words. Yes.
Ronnie.
And the parents know. The parents, some of them hardly out of their childhood themselves.
Well,
They never sit down and laugh and say, gee, that's how them ripe. They pick them ripe.
I want to challenge.
We have to do differently,
that
different morals.
That crowd. You know, it's the easiest way to teach Spanish.
Yeah.
I want bread, I want pan, I want this. And you know, it just come with something
so suppose
that can go in the education.
So suppose we had that spirit of enthusiasm. Suppose we had that spirit of common purpose. Suppose we had said that is what we want to see. Suppose our mass media, rather than show off who have the finest clothes or the biggest donkey hair in your head or or whatever. Yes, come and do some basic things and just love up each other. What a difference it could make.
It is. Yeah. And we could help the teachers.
Yeah.
Because, trust me, they could clean it up when we said it rough.
Yeah. Mr. Charles. And so with this raw wisdom, is it? Some would say it's folly. But we say, no, it's the folk wisdom based on the experience that we have had over so much time. We thank very much all of those who have made Early Rise possible this morning. Thanks to LaFayne Wigan, our producer, and our producer in studio today, Athena Clark, our technical operator, Richard Rainford, our switcher, Romy, Audley, our DJ, and the entire production team here at the Bridge 99 FM. We talk it as we see it. Thank you, Mr. Charles, and looking forward, life spare and God willing, to tomorrow. And we join you tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock. And Richie B joins us with Up and Go. Stay tuned to the Bridge 99 FM.